set up this season under their new manager, Ange Postecoglou. Now, shout out to Harley who suggested this, and to be fair, I think it's a pretty interesting one as well, because I certainly didn't know too much about Postecoglou before this video. I had to do quite a bit of research on him and how he played, so I suspect quite a few of you also don't know too much about him, how he plays, his style. So I'm essentially going to tell you all of that today, and then I'm going to show you the sort of lineup and how I think he will apply this to Spurs next season. Now, of course, I'm not an expert on Postecoglou. There's probably some of you who have watched him more than me, so if I do get any of this wrong, then do let me know, and if you guys do enjoy this, then please do leave a like and comment below who you want to see next. But let's begin. So we're going to start talking off by having a look at the Celtic team and how they played under Postecoglou, because that is of course the last team he managed, and I suspect they will play very similar to Spurs, and once we've established how they play, then we'll have a look at Spurs and who will play in what position and stuff like that. So they predominantly, basically all the time, it's set up in a 4-3-3 formation. Some of personnel change from time to time, but this was usually their lineup, and it was basically always in a 4-3-3. Now that's one thing to note, that Postecoglou is quite, I guess, strict in his style of play. He very, very rarely changes his style. But anyway, this is how he played. So in terms of when they had the ball, it's quite similar to sort of a Pep's Guardiola system. So if we just push up everyone here, so what would happen is the left back here, Greg Taylor, would actually invert into midfield to join Conor McGregor. I just doesn't matter. Anyway, right back. Johnson would. Now this was mainly because he was sort of a overlapping fullback himself. He would be on the overlap there. He sometimes would invert instead of Taylor, but mainly it was Taylor who would do that. Johnson would stay above here. Adati and Riley would push up, forming the box midfield, which has become very popular, and we've spoken about in many of our other tactical setups. And the wingers, Yota and Maeda, would be basically extremely wide, the furthest they could be, and Kygo would be sort of operating in this area here, trying to link up play, very technical striker. So this is kind of what they would have set up on a base when they had to put in a 2-5-3 sort of formation here. Now, Postecoglou was very keen on these areas here, these sort of half spaces. This is kind of where he targeted most of his play, so expect to see a lot of Spurs play coming in these areas here, because what would happen is Adati and O'Reilly would attack those spaces, and Yota and Maeda, the wingers who would start out very wide, would then drift inside and join these two in those half spaces, and they would link up a lot of 1-2s, switching around like that. And that's very fluid, and then Kygo would also get involved there, so they would essentially overload teams there with 3 players in those spaces here, and usually, you just have a full-back or a centre-back here, and then you'd also have Johnson coming down this side as well, sometimes even making it then a 4. But one thing very important to note, as I said, he's quite strict in his play, very similar to Pep in terms of if the right pass is not on, then they wouldn't force it. So in this position here, Johnson, he would not cross that ball into Kygo into the middle of the area. They very, very rarely sort of crossed the ball into the box high in the air. It's very much keep the ball on O'Reilly and Haddadi wanted to attack those spaces, it was really McGregor who was playing those passes for O'Reilly, for Haddadi to get into those spaces. So McGregor, very, very important. These two, very, very important in terms of their attacking work to get into those spaces. The wingers, very important in terms of staying wide and coming inside. The striker as well, as I said, is not really an orthodox striker, not really like a target man. They're not going to get like crosses in the box, head it in. Postecoglou use the striker more as a technical player to link up with Jota, Darte, O'Reilly and Maeda in those half spaces and try and get cut back, stuff like that. And yeah, the only real time they kind of went long was those long balls by McGregor, one of the centre backs, and they would just go straight to the winger, either straight to their feet when they were wide, or the wingers would, from wide, make those runs inside and they would play those balls in behind. So that's really how they played with the ball. Out of possession, very, very interesting as well. Extremely, extremely high press and pretty interesting one. What would happen is one of the centre mids, usually O'Reilly, would actually join Geigo and they would essentially form a sort of 4-4-2 when they were pressing. So it'll be something like this. So they would have two strikers then. These two, imagine the goalie has the ball here, they would essentially use these two to press the centre backs, go man for man really. Maeda and Jota again on the full backs, and then McGregor and Haddadi. Haddadi would be a little bit higher and he would be sweeping up, and that was the reason why the Celtics scored so many goals. I think they scored about 114 goals because they would win these balls back, because they would just pin teams in like this with their extremely high press. But as you can tell, it's a little bit dangerous because they are kind of going man for man here with these four, and if you come up against like a Man City and you do this, you can get picked off or your press is not good enough. You know, let's say the team managed to bypass this press, suddenly that's 4 players out of the equation, and to be fair, he'll probably be gone as well, meaning that you've just got 5 players back now. So it's a very risky strategy, but one that if implemented correctly is very, very effective. Now, how is this going to work at Spurs? Let's go over and switch now. So this is sort of the lineup I think will play at Spurs under Postecoglou, and yeah, it's got quite a few holes because some of them I'm just a little bit confused about. I'm very, very confused about who's going to play there. Now, as I said, Postecoglou rarely changes his system, so I do suspect he will play the same thing, a 4-3-3 formation. Now, Vicario will be the goalie. They just brought him in, and you know, they're very, very big on playing out from a back. So, I mean, to be fair, the goalie doesn't have to be amazing with the ball at his feet, but it helps. So, I don't know how good Vicario is on his feet, but it's not really an important one there. Pedro Porro, I think, will definitely be the right back. I do have my concerns about him defensively, but he does profile the same as Johnson, overlapping fullback. Jet Spence, I also think, could play that role and do that pretty well if he stays around Emerson. Potentially, if he wants a bit more of a conservative fullback, could do that as well. Romero will definitely be one of the centre backs, that's for sure. Their best centre back and pretty good ball playing defender as well. That's a big one because, as we said, obviously he likes to keep control of the ball, recycle the ball, short passes. Also likes his centre backs to spray those long balls. So he needs 2 ball playing defenders. Romero is one of them, but left centre back I really don't know. They've been linked to someone like Tapsoba, who I'll put him in. just say they signed Tapsoba because they need to sign somebody there. Left back is where it gets very interesting because, as we saw, Greg Taylor was someone who inverted into the midfield. Let's just go like that. Yeah, so Greg Taylor, as we mentioned, went into the midfield. And when you look at Spurs and their left backs, well, they have Perisic, who I think is gone. They have Ryan Sescon, who is definitely not going to do that. They have Destiny Edoji, who again is not really going to do that. And the only other one is Ben Davis, who, he can play in like he can sort of form like a back three system, which could work, but he's not going to do that either, so I do think they're going to need a left back there. This DM role, the McGregor role, as I said, was very important in terms of spraying and dictating play. Again, I'm not sure who will play that. I think someone who probably has the ability to do that is Rodrigo Bentancur. However, I think he would rather have Bentancur in this position. Because as we mentioned, he wants those eights to attack those spaces, right? And Bentancur is pretty good at that, to be honest. So I think they need another midfielder, because I do think Bentancur will play this role. They have Yves Bissouma, who I don't really know where he fits in. I don't know if he can play this role here. You know what, we'll just put him in for now, and we'll put Bentancur there. But I do think Maddison will play one of these roles in the midfield. Maddison could play on the right wing. That's definitely an option, but I do think he's probably best suited to attacking those spaces there and linking up with Kulusevski and the striker. So I do think we'll see Maddison in the midfield, Kulusevski and Son on the wings. I think these two will be exceptional under Postecoglou. As we mentioned, the wing is very important. They stay nice and wide and then they come inside, and that's kind of Son and Kulusevski's game, isn't it? They like to stay wide and then come inside. Son on that right foot, Kulusevski on that left foot. So I think these two will be absolutely incredible, and also Manuel Solomon as well. Then the striker situation. Obviously, as of recording, they still have Harry Kane. I don't know. I don't think he will stick around, and even if he does, he's not really the sort of Postecoglou striker anyway. Like, obviously he can do it, but he's not really the ideal fit anyway. Because as we mentioned, Kygo, if the ball's not really going to come into the box, he's not really a traditional striker like that. He likes to link up play, which Harry Kane does, but he also does extreme amount of selfless running and pressing, which, you know, Kane does for pressing, but is not renowned for it, right? So yeah, a few holes now. I think, let's say we put Ben Davis in here, the striker position. I mean, I have no clue. Let's say Richarlison plays that role. Let's go for this. Actually, we'll go for, you know, we'll start off with like players they actually have in the team and how they would actually play, because I think if he had this system, I think he would have to adapt his style of play slightly. So I think we'll move up like this. I think what might actually happen if they had this team, that Ben Davis, instead of coming into midfield, would maybe just form a sort of back three system. In fact, I think what would happen is Eric Dyer might form into this role here, into the midfield like that, and I think Borrow would probably bomb forward like that. I think it will be something like that. I think that probably makes more sense. Eric Dyer moving into the midfield role, Ben Davis tucking into that centre back role. Dyer has played in this position before, and then probably Maddison and Basuma Kulusevski like Fizz. Richarlison's a bit of a weird one. I don't know if he has that sort of link-up play like that. He definitely has that selfless pressing role, but I'm not entirely sure how he fits in there. This is probably, let's push him up a bit more, this is probably how Spurs will play. I think this right hand side though is extremely dangerous. Porro, Kulusevski and James Maddison. I would be very excited to see this if I'm a Spurs fan. It's just here, you know, Basuma. I'd rather have Bentancur in this role. But then I don't think Basuma is capable of playing this role here and dictating play, so I do think they need another midfielder. And, you know, I'm not entirely comfortable with Dyer and Ben Davies like that, but still. I also think, you know, I don't know if Richarlison can do that link-up play, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is really what I think Spurs will be like next season. Pretty promising. I think it will definitely be a big change from what they had before, and there might be a bit of teething problems to start with, but you know, it will take time, Spurs fans, so don't worry if you start off bad. You just have to back the manager, because it will take time for a system to be fully implemented as it's such a drastic change. But I think Spurs fans will enjoy a lot more ball dominant side, extreme pressing, fluid sort of football, nice short passing. It will definitely take a lot of time. Spurs might start off the season bad, but I think if they get the right signings, get a left back, centre back and another midfielder and another striker, which is quite a bit, but if they fully back him, I do suspect that Postecoglou will do some good things with Spurs, and they're going to be a very interesting and exciting team to watch next season. That's for sure. But there we go. That is the breakdown of Postecoglou at Spurs. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have enjoyed,